All right, thank you. So hi everyone, as you just said, I'm Guillaume Aymon, and I work at Igalia. Even though what I'm gonna present was mostly about stuff that I did on my own time, though there are some bits that my awesome company Igalia let me do on work time, and that was pretty cool. Um, so, Cheryl just before was saying that like they want to show young girls that technology and science on probably free software is something cool. I'm gonna try to expose that. Um, so, it's about hacking the real world. That means trying to do things in that big room with the blue ceiling, you know, outside. You have a picture of it here, the blue. Um, More specifically, I'm going to talk about a project that I did this summer, which was to try to take pictures from above using a nice little balloon like that attached to a string with a camera here. So, more specifically, that was the main idea of the project. So, having a balloon, a camera, a string. We did that at a kind of hippie, artsy festival called Nowhere. It's very cool. So you had hippies, you had some artistic stuff, a lot of tents, and we thought, yeah, we're gonna try put a balloon up, take pictures for the whole week of the event, and try to do things with that. High, most exactly, that was like the string was 100 meters high. Which, no, that's the other button. Sorry. So that's what I call a very low orbit satellite. Why I call it that way? Simply because you have, when the balloon is up, well, it's not like these projects of trying to take pictures of the stratosphere or something like that. So the balloon stayed at 100 meters high and didn't go higher. We didn't cut the string. But still you have your balloon, your camera, whatever systems you put that stay there for a few hours and you cannot access them directly. So one of the problems with that is how do you press the button of the camera? How do you take pictures? For that project, obviously we were on a budget. We had some financing from the Nowhere Arts Committee or whatever it was called. But we still had to add some from our pockets, so we were generally going the cheap options. So we had second-hand Canon compact camera, and with that you can use a project called CHDK. So first free software project I'm going to talk about, because indeed in that project we used a lot of free software projects, hence our presentation here. And I kind of thank you to the community because without free software this wouldn't have been possible. So the Canon Hack Development Kit, it's basically a firmware addition. It's not a separate firmware that you can install on most compact Canon cameras. And using that, you can do funny things like script your camera in Lua or script your camera in BASIC if you're a bit crazy. And so, so we programmed the camera with that to take a picture every minute while it was up, and it worked. So then the second issue is like monitoring. Like, indeed it worked, but how do you know when the balloon is up? Is it working? Is it taking picture? Has it segfaulted or something? So we thought of doing some electronics, playing with an Arduino board, having an FM emitter attached to it, have it check on the camera via a USB shield for Arduino, so I think you stick to your Arduino on the that would plug via USB to the camera. And yeah, I got to the point where I could emit beeps. I could even emit like kind of uncoded signals in like a modem style, and I managed to almost decode them using new radio. And yeah, that was cool. Only then I had to still put the USB in, connect the thing to the USB to the camera. And it was like already probably April or May, and the event was at the start of July. And we still didn't have the balloon or a lot of logistics things that we had to handle. And so we basically gave up and went with no monitoring. Ooh, scary. That wasn't the program in the end. So, another program is with a picture every minute. The idea was to make a time lapse. Here's an example of a time lapse taken at nowhere as well, like another project from Raul Sorosal, that's his name, the guy who installed that. That was pretty cool. Anyway, not the subject of this talk. And so how do you do a time lapse? How do you create a video from other pictures? That's simple. You use GStreamer. So basically there's an element called multi-file SRC, and you can give it JPEGs, and from that it gives you a video stream and you can encode it and everything. So it was just a relatively simple GStreamer pipeline with GST launch. Like no coding involved basically. It was rather easy, so kudos to GStreamer. And then there was another problem. Things were a bit like Joe the Hippo here. You can see that the image is not very stable, it's moving. That video was taken from a boat. Can show it again, maybe. Ooh, Joe. Yeah, with a camera from a balloon, we had similar difficulties of shakiness, but even worse, because you have the balloon, it's in some position, you take a picture. 1 minute later, when you take the second picture, the camera is gonna rotate around the screen, the balloon is gonna move with the wind to some other position. So 2 consecutive frames in your videos are gonna be very different, and you end up with a video that's just pure flickering. I can show example, that's like 1 frame, that's the next frame. So as you can see, there's like a huge rotation between the two. And that's not cool in a video. So to try to tackle that, I use OpenCV. OpenCV has plenty of nice tools that help me to like see what is the movement from one frame to another, and basically apply the reverse movement, the reverse matrix, so that one frame maps the previous frames as if more or less it was taken from the same position. And OpenCV was cool as well to, as you can see, you have big black borders on the pictures. Well, actually, they were, I think that's the after, but the original are really huge. Like, basically the picture was around in a circle, and the rest was black. So with OpenCV, you can also like revert, like map your round image onto something that's more squarish. And so I wrote a GStreamer element using OpenCV that stabilized thing. You can see a demo of it. So that's the video before, and that's after once stabilized. So Joe is much more peaceful. He doesn't have like stomach issues or anything like that. And that's what the final result looks like so far. I'm still thinking of improvements like getting rid of that orange code that should be possible with OpenCV, just needs some work. And yeah, that's what it looks like. So if you look carefully, you can see a van going on, you can see people on the end of the video is, there's a bug somewhere. But yeah, that's the idea, I don't know. I find it pretty cool already. Do we have, okay. I have like 5 minutes if some people have questions about details or other details or things.
What's the hippies?
Hmm?
What's the hippies?
You can see. You can see like these points are like people going around. Like here you can see a group that was scattering. There are some people. Yeah, you can try to spot them. Like these dark points are like hippies. Like in the first picture. They're quite small from 100 meters high. Yes? Is there a limitation on height? Well, there are several aspects to that, like how daring you are. Our limitation, the reason why we had 100, we were 100 meters high is basically because we had a string of 100 meters. We probably could have gone higher, only when you have more string to roll and unroll when you want to get the balloon down or up. And because sometimes you have to do it, because the balloon a balloon like that doesn't like wind too much. So if it gets windy, like decently windy, I don't know, like not that much actually, like from 15 kilometers per hour of wind is already gonna put you in trouble. So like on the evening of the first night there was like a crazy wind and we were like partying at in another corner of the festival and then it was like ooh, crazy. And oh, I forgot, I think I had another side, yeah. It was the thanks to my company, these people, all the people who helped. And yeah, I didn't name him, but there were two of us. I was with a guy called Hugo Riboni, who was actually the real mastermind behind the project. Other questions? Yes?
Did we consider installing a parachute in case the balloon blew up?
Did we consider installing a parachute? We did consider it at some point and quickly discarded it because like everything, we didn't have the time. It didn't seem like that much of a priority. We were trusting the rope basically. It was some good like kite rope in, I don't remember the name of the material, but it could theoretically support like 100 kilos. And the pool we measured from our balloon was like maybe 2 kilos. And with like very big winds, it could maybe reach 10 kilos or something like that, but we were far below the limits. Even though at some point when we attached the balloon, we didn't really know how to do this and we like almost lost it, but we didn't. Yes, anyway.
When the balloon was up, there were still 2 kilos of pull in the rope?
Was there still 2 kilos of pull on the rope when the balloon was up with the load, I guess you mean? I don't remember what the total pull empty was more than 2 kilos. I think it was more like 3 or 4. Then we had a load of around 1 kilo, so it was, yeah, around 2 or 3 kilos, I think.
That means you can get 2 kilos of rope higher.
Yeah, we could have got 2 kilos of rope higher, yeah, indeed. But the rope actually was rather light. I think these 100 meters were probably, I don't remember how much, but like less than 100 grams probably, or in that order of magnitude. That's pretty light. Yes.
So you use OpenCV and you wrote an extension that uses OpenCV like GStreamer.
Yes.
So you didn't have to do any other changes to any of the other pieces of software.
Sorry?
Did you have to do any other changes to any of the software?
Did I have to do other changes to the software? So not really. I wrote that element that uses OpenCV. Actually, it's like, I think, less than 500 lines of Python. And yeah, just using the Python bindings of OpenCV. And no, I didn't have bad bugs, or I think my time is up. So thank you all. And if you have more questions on this day, to offer me a beer, or just find me maybe around here or just in the corridor. Thank you.
It's non-floating.